guys, welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. Today we are going to be doing a review on Field of Screams in Lancaster, PA. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not already. Also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Also check out our haunted house documentary we did a few years ago. It is free to watch on YouTube. We also have a GoFundMe page going on right now to make a sequel to our documentary. Anything you can donate, we would greatly appreciate. That being said,
I think that leads us into a review of Field of Screams. It's advertised as a Scream Park kind of place, which it definitely is. It has a very carnival kind of setup. You walk in, it has a big midway.
yes.
Real big midway. Which looked really awesome. There's like fires and stuff.
Yeah, there was actors walking around doing stuff. There were games, food vendors, gift shops, all that fun jazz. 4 different attractions. There's the Hayride, Nocturnal Wasteland, Den of Darkness, and Frightmare Asylum.
Yes, that brings us into the design of the place. This we gave an 8 to. It's a very pretty looking place. It's very detailed. I guess we'll talk about the hayride first. The hay wagon is ridiculously large. It just didn't end.
Like, think of your typical hay wagon that you would see at a haunted hay ride, and then double the size. This thing was so freaking long. Like, it turned the corner and it was going.
The size of a semi-trailer. It's ridiculous.
It's still going. It was just so big. So big.
And the hayride, it basically consists of a couple, like a little outside scene or show, and then you get to a big building they close you in, and then things drop from the ceiling and scare you.
Yeah.
It's a little repetitive, I guess, which is the main complaint.
Yeah, it was good the first couple times, but after like the third and fourth time it happened, it was like, we pull in, I'm like, oh,
okay, the doors close. Yeah, like there's slaughterhouse, pigs fall from the ceiling, and then like there's one, it's like some spiders and snake fall from the ceiling, then there's like a circus one, and that one was a little bit more interesting. Something still falls from the ceiling. That one's interesting, so I don't want to ruin that one. Unfortunately, the way the hayride is nothing happened to us. We were in the front, so we had a speaker blaring in our ear the whole time, and they put screams. Recorded screams in the speaker.
Yeah.
My ears were ringing for like an hour after the hayride.
Like, we couldn't hear the actors because they were asking us questions and
Literally
they wanted
no
reactions. And I'm just like, no, I can't hear you.
And no actor, we weren't attempted to be scared by anyone because there was the fire extinguisher right behind us. I don't even know if they were allowed to. No one tried anything. There's other people having fun. So we got to watch how much fun it would have been if we didn't have a seat that was terrible. Yeah. They also set people in the middle of the They also set people in the middle of the hay wagon, which they also didn't get scared at all. They got to watch other people have fun.
Yeah.
But it looked like if you got to sit on the outside, it was a good time. It sure did. There's a really cool Vortex Tunnel that they took the entire hay wagon through.
Yeah, I've never, like, normally Vortex Tunnels, you hold on to the bars, you don't feel the sickness, and you're fine. You're sitting in a hay wagon, and they take you through a giant Vortex Tunnel, the length of this giant hay wagon, and it just was
they stop you in it.
They just stop you there, and it's got, like, this blaring, like glow sticky kind of music, and you're just like, oh my god, like, I felt like this thing was going to tip over. It was insane. Yeah,
it was really cool. The hayride is done really well for the most part. There was one really cool outside scene of note. It looked like a moonshine distillery. And it was cool because like it starts catching fire and like the trail of fire leads up to the thing and then it explodes in a huge fireball and stuff. That was really cool. And then it was like this industrial theme part. There's this bridge, and we saw it, and we're like, oh, look at all these actors up there. Where they weren't actors, it actually fuses with the other haunt, Nocturnal Wasteland, that there's the people actually have to go up through that in a school bus, and it intertwines with the hayride. Yeah. That was a really cool idea, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
That you could like see the other people there. So I guess next we'll just talk about Nocturnal Wasteland.
This was unfortunate because this was the last haunt we did of the night.
Yeah.
And it was late, so this place was busy. this haunt had 3 queue line areas.
I almost cried when we turned
filled.
the third quarter.
Like, it was insane. Like, they probably could have just pushed us out of the exit at the end of it, because that would have been it. It was just queue line after queue line. I have never walked so much in my life in a queue than we did for this one. And then walking through this, because it is a trail.
It's basically one long conga line.
Yeah, because it was so busy. They were trying to separate people, but it was so busy they could only do like maybe 30 seconds between the next group going in. And eventually you caught up with everyone. People were stopping
we
because
caught up
they
as
were
soon as we
getting
entered.
scared. Yeah.
We never were by ourselves. There's like 1 or 2 spots where we got to walk, but most of it was you take a step and you wait.
Yeah. It was literally just one big queue line. Like, you were just walking through it and looking at props.
And there were some cool things that happened. There were some cool pyrotechnics, and there was cool walking through the school buses, although you said there was 3 school buses that we walked through.
Yeah, like a school bus, like 3 school buses. There was some sort
5
of
tunnels.
Like a boat or something.
Yeah, like a train car or a boat or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you had to walk through. Like I said, the design of the place was kind of cool. The lighting wasn't very good, especially in this one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you're like, that would be cool, but I can't see it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely dark.
Yeah, like there were these moving trees and you couldn't see them or hear them because they were saying stuff. But all I could hear was, I couldn't hear anything.
But yeah, like I said, mainly the queue line, just the entire line that ran through the place. And I understand that they were really busy that night, but I think that busy pretty much all the time, because I mean, the queue lines weren't even all the way filled up. Mm-hmm. And I understand you had to pump people through like that, but I don't know. It needed to be designed a little bit better, because I mean, we'll talk about more of an actors, but we didn't get scared at all during this. Like, it was just we were in there for, I think it should have took us 15 minutes to get through. It took us over a half hour to get through this thing, because we just were standing through, we were just walking through it in a line. But
now, mind you, it did have some really cool points. One of them being, and they're very rare in haunted houses. There is one here locally where we live in the Akron Schoolhouse and Laboratory.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Tesla coil, which basically just shoots lightning at you. They had one of these in the Nocturnal Wasteland, and it was very effective. It was creepy. I didn't expect it. I heard the noise, and I'm like, no way. Turn the corner, sure enough, there's the Tesla. So that was really cool. Mm-hmm. They also had the walking trails kind of changed. Like, the floors moved. There were drawbridges that you had to walk across.
And then the next one we'll talk about is Frightmare Asylum. Also, I want to say the facades of these places are really awesome. Even the hayride is cool. It was like this creepy hillbilly shack that you had to go into. That was neat. It did. It looked like an asylum with flickering lights and all that. And it was themed very well. Very same problem with the trail, not as extensive, but it was all just kind of like walking through a line. And again, the lighting could have been better. There were some scenes that were lit pretty much perfectly, but then there's other parts where it's like you could tell they took all the time to put this detail in something, but you couldn't see it. And it's not like there's actors that could hide there, so it wasn't like they were keeping it dark so people could hide. It just wasn't lit. Yeah. Strobe lights on stairs too, which is kind of, I don't know if this one or the next one, but yeah, strobe lights on stairs, that's kind of iffy.
Yeah, that was an asylum, yeah, because there were bugs on the wall and strobe lights, and it was disorientating. Like, I wasn't sure where I was stepping, and it was just kind of strange, because you do go up and down a lot in the haunted houses. There are a lot of stuff.
But yeah, the theme here is good. I don't know, the asylum thing doesn't do much for me, but it matched the asylum theme. It's exactly what you expect it would be. Mm-hmm. And then the last one is the Den of Darkness, which is the most traditional haunted house.
Yeah.
And again, this is for the most part what you think of when you think of a haunted house. For the most part, it followed a theme of that. There's a couple scenes, like there's a morgue in it and stuff like that, but for the most part, it was just a...
yeah, the morgue was kind of annoying because it had these doors, and it was very tight area. Like, literally, it was like probably hallway. This big of a hallway, and then these doors were opening and literally whacking you in the face.
With metal handles.
Like, at one point, he's got his hands up like this, holding the door.
Because, again, we were in a line, so I couldn't, like, usually in most haunted houses where you get to, like, move freely and you're not in a line through the whole thing, you can, just move around it. But this, we're standing, so I'm like, boom, boom. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to hold this. Usually I won't touch props or anything, but I didn't feel like being hit in the face. So I'm like, that's fine. I'm just going to do that. Cool idea, I guess. Maybe just not have metal handles on them. I don't know.
This one was the shortest of every
Yeah, it was real short.
Haunted house, and it didn't have enough actors.
No, it was very barren in that. And like I said, this is something, a reoccurring theme outside the hayride. And we'll touch on that more in actors, but yeah, it needed more. There was it was like a dinner party scene. There was like a whole bunch of people, and then they were like all still, and then a couple of them moved. There was another scene kind of similar to this, where you had to walk through rows of people that had sheets draped over them.
Yeah.
You didn't know which one was real, that kind of thing. But I liked the way they did it. It was really cool. They had a children's play area, which that didn't really do much for me. I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was like the typical stuff you see. It was these creepy dolls and stuff like that. There was a lot of actors in there, which they could have been spread around.
Yeah, because there wasn't many places at all, and like you could see where like they were supposed to be, like in the scene, but there just wasn't anyone there.
Okay, so on that point of actors, we gave them a 6.
Yeah. On the hayride, they were fine. There was pretty much plenty of them on the hayride. Again, we couldn't hear what they were saying, so we have no idea the dialogue's like, because there's 2 speakers, both ends, it's blaring, and we were sitting, we just couldn't hear them. There still probably could have been a few more, because there was dead space in between the barns, which were the main scenes, were the barns that closed you in.
Yeah.
But the other ones, there just was
not
much. And like the Nocturnal Wasteland one, like I don't remember how many there were. It didn't seem like there was any more than 10.
I think we counted 10. I think our grand total was 10 people, because some of them kind of like double backed and got people too.
And if there were more, we didn't see them.
Yeah.
But like you could tell they given up. Like they would just stand there and they would literally just kind of go at you.
And there was one actually sitting down adjusting his mask at one point. We walked past him, which I was kind of like, oh, okay.
One walked back by me, and I thought he was going to scare me, but he really just had a can of like Diet Pepsi, and he went over and put it in his little hiding spot, which I could see. I'm like, oh, all right then. He just looks at me. He's like, what? I'm like, okay, that's cool. No one seemed into it. They just seemed disheartened. There's a guy with a circular saw that was plugged in, and he was chasing people with it, and like he didn't, like no one is scared, because we're standing in a line through the whole thing, which isn't fun to begin with. And he kind of realized that no one cares, so he just goes and he sits down in this chair. These people walk by. He just turns it on, and he's just kind of looking at us like, hi.
The fact that it was plugged in kind of lost it for me. When I saw the extension cord as he's walking back and forth, I kind of laughed. I mean, I know, sometimes props, you have to do what you have to do, but at least hide the cord.
There's like one guy, I think, in the entire Nocturnal Wasteland that tried to scare me.
Yeah, one guy did get me in there, because he did double back, because he had gone back behind me and gotten some people there, and he must have looped around and came through like an actor's pass or something, and he was right next to me, and he like kind of like went, hey there, and I was like, oh, okay, hey. He's the only one that actually got me in that entire queue line from hell.
Yeah. I think the houses, pretty much the same thing, not nearly enough of them. They didn't have any like original dialogue. They didn't really mess with you too much. I had a couple people kind of poke me. No, and they didn't really try and do anything, though. They just kind of looked at you. They might say something like, want to play, or want to take your organs out, whatever, just typical haunted house stuff. Just really wasn't much to talk about, because there wasn't many actors.
Yeah.
There just wasn't. And the ones that were there, like I said, they seemed like they've given up.
That being said, with Scare Factor, we really didn't give them a score, because it's hard to scare people when they're just standing in a line.
So something I want to ask of you, if you see this, I want you to comment and let me know if you've been there and this is something that's common. We're like, maybe we just went in a bad night, because we didn't get scared. One guy got her, I'm easier for people to scare than like she is. I didn't get scared once, and we were there over 3 hours. We didn't leave till like almost midnight, and we got there at 7:30, and with all the time for the haunts, not one person scared me. Like I said, maybe something happened. I don't know. Is it usually like this? Usually one big conga line. We don't know. We live far away from there. We've never been there before. So I'm kind of curious to know. Maybe that's the way it normally. If this is the way it normally is, I'll say their score should be like a 4. Yeah. Because it's really bad. If this is the way it normally is, if it's not, then I don't know what it should be. But from what we can see, it's hard for us to grade it because we don't know. Value we gave a 7 to. on this place, like most of the places up there, vary in price structure, so it's really hard.
It was $40
when we went, correct,
to get in on that day. There was only like 3 days out of
three
October,
Saturdays in October.
that it raises in price, because it's normally like $34 to get in, but because we of course went on a Saturday that it was raised, it was $40.
And you can also pick and choose. You can just get a ticket for 1 or 2 attractions, however many you want. You can get a combo, triple, whatever.
Yeah, we got the Scream Pass, which was all 4 attractions.
Right.
We did not get the Quick Pass, but when you walk into the Midway, they have people up in these little birdhouses.
Yeah, they were like little birds, like treehouse, I guess.
Little tree houses where you could climb up there and pay $25 more to get a fast pass.
Anytime. Which one?
Anytime. So say you went to one of the haunted houses, you waited, a half hour to get onto the ride, and you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. You could go over to one of those persons and they will upgrade your ticket for you for $25, which...
That way you're not locked into deciding right then and there. You can upgrade later. But the thing that kind of irritated me was every haunt had signs be like, get out of... And they literally said, get out of line, go get a quick pass to skip the line. And then there's one, like towards the end, it's like, just so you know, if you would have came on not tonight, you wouldn't have been waiting as long.
Yeah.
It's basically what they said. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, why? I don't even understand why these signs are here. Like telling you to get out of line to go get a quick pass. It was like they're really shoving down your throat to give them more money. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you're charging $34 to $40 a ticket per person. Like, you're making plenty. There's so many people there. Like, I don't know. It kind of bothered me, the signs. I like the idea of being able to upgrade your ticket at any time in case you decide. There's been a lot of times where, like, I don't need that. Like, these Scream Park things. And then you come out of the first haunted house and it's doubled in crowd and you're like, I want to go home before 3 in the morning, so let's go ahead and pay more money. So that's fine, but like, God, you don't need a sign every other way you look.
All right, so overall our score is a 7. This place was just so busy.
It was, and that really, I didn't have very much fun going there. And again, a lot of it's because of the crowds, but and they said if there wasn't many crowds, maybe the actors could have got us more, but I don't know if it really gets much slower than this.
Yeah.
Because again, the queue lines we went in were only halfway filled except for the nocturnal one. That one is pretty far back. But like, I mean, they pump you through so quickly, and like I said, the scenes are really well done. Like, everything looked really good, but the actors were just meh. They didn't seem to really care. There wasn't anything inventive. The animatronics weren't used that well. They were there, but there's nothing that really wowed me inside the haunts. The hayride had a couple things.
Yeah, the hayride was good.
Yeah, the hayride had some good animatronics, but outside of that,
yeah,
I was just like, okay.
Yeah, so like pretty much most of the score goes to the hayride. Let's just say that.
So if you want to go there, I'm reluctant to recommend buying. Actually, it's weird because I usually don't recommend like buying just a pass for one, but the hayride was, I'd say, worth it because I think you can get on the hayride for maybe $20.
Yeah, I think the hayride was the most money, but.
Well, actually, I think this one you might be able just to buy a pass because it says you can go to anyone you want.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what the price is for one ticket, but if you go and you don't have all the time in the world and don't have money for a quick pass, then just probably do the hayride if you want to go there. And all of the music at the beginning of the video, and I'm putting a new song at the end of each video, or a different song at the end of each video, from a man named Jerry Vayne. He makes haunt rock music. He's very gracious, let us use his music. It's very cool, instrumental music with kind of a creepy twist. If you could check his page out, links down below, and maybe buy one of his albums, just have a new one come out. Thank you guys very much for watching.